Thunder Walker with the Thunder Walker experience right here at the Clawback Conversation. And I got a chance to run into someone really, really special in my community. And so I wanted to bring her on so she could tell us a little bit about her life and what brings her to this beautiful state of Oklahoma. So let my audience know your name and what you do for a living.
Alrighty, my name is Andreah Mussolino.
It was beautiful.
And I'm an account executive for an appraisal management company.
Oh, cool. And you guys know my background is real estate. And so when we got to talking, I wanted to share some things with her about what life is like for me here in Oklahoma. But I also wanted her to share some things with you because working at an appraisal management firm, you get a chance to see so many different things. Is it just the state of Oklahoma or is it nationally?
So we are nationwide, so including Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
So all 50 states and Puerto Rico.
Cool, cool. So tell the audience a little bit about, well, let me do this. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what an appraisal is. An appraisal sets the value for things. It can be real estate. It can be the air. It can be water. It can be tennis shoes. It can be anything. They are the most powerful people, in my opinion, on the planet because they literally set the value to everything, including the dirt. So, how long have you been in this industry?
I have been about 7 years now.
What's some of the interesting things and trends that you have seen in appraising?
Interesting things, so many. So one thing we could see, it's the zoning part. I think it's very interesting. So we have a lot of things of issues with the type of zoning that the property has. So it's interesting to see what type of businesses people are trying to do in certain areas.
Right.
Yes, and how they're trying to get away with it and play with it. So that part I believe is very interesting.
I think so too, because when COVID happened, everybody went back into their homes and they had to work out of their homes, which changed the dynamic of what a residential property is.
That's a good point. Yes, absolutely. And there are things that you can do. Sometimes you think, I cannot do it because of the zoning, and then you find out all the ways that you can do it. So it's interesting the possibilities that you can explore when you get a little more into that industry. Yes,
absolutely. So when you're in as an account executive, do you get a chance to pick, or is it randomly that you pick different appraisers in the different states?
So it depends on my clients and what they target. So they target certain areas, and then we start to get to know the appraisers in that area. It's all a relationship with the appraisers. They are very much our ground force on the streets, and we just create a relationship with them. So I have clients that target certain areas, so I have a group of appraisers in that area that I rely mostly on. Yes, and then you start getting that relationship, with the appraisers. So the most of the ones that you work with, you get that relationship with them. So yeah.
So my background, of course, is appraising, and I grew up as an appraiser's daughter. And to be honest with you, I've seen some wild stuff that really changes a property.
Okay, like what?
Like, once you grow meth or create meth in a house, the value's gone. I don't think you can ever really get rid of that. Is that, do you find that?
I had one appraisal with that type of situation. And, that lender definitely did not want to get involved.
Ooh.
So that's certainly something that if it's going on, we may need to work on it a little bit beforehand. But I have had marijuana growing in a property where it's completely okay. It depends on the local codes. It's something that the bank will initially, even the appraiser will initially be like, something's wrong. And then we just have to go back and be like, well, it's not necessarily.
Wait. Is that a phone call, a text message?
It depends. And usually when it's a phone call, it's a bit awkward because then you have to type it. It's like, how about you type it? You send me an email. Let's make that your words and not mine. But yeah, it's interesting that some people will look at it, even appraisers, because there are, certain ages, certain backgrounds from appraisers. They'll look at it and automatically be like, oh, this is an issue. Then it comes to us and we're like, well, not necessarily. Some states it isn't, some local codes it isn't. So
that's so interesting because there's a lot of home growers and if you're getting ready to sell your property, you probably kind of need to know if you need to kind of, depending on the bank,
Right.
if
Depending on the state.
in the state. So if you're in California or Washington and that's probably legal or whatever,
Correct.
hey, but if you're in a state that it's not legal, then you probably want to shut all of that down. And we're not giving legal advice, but it could affect your value. That's interesting. And you want the appraiser to let you know first. That's huge.
Yes, absolutely. So appraisers will usually flag something that they think it's an issue. What's interesting is that they may sometimes think it's an issue and it's not. So it's a good thing too.
And people are coming around to actually have those particular conversations. And that's why I say appraisers are probably the most powerful people in the room, because it sets the value of everything. So you do real estate appraising. Do you do commercial or just residential?
Mostly residential, but we do commercial as well.
Oh, wow.
A little bit here and there.
So in watching people appraise properties, I've seen airports appraised, highways appraised, and then there's this thing called eminent domain. Look it up if you are curious. But eminent domain means that the city or state can take a portion of your property and they actually call out an appraiser to give the value. So if they're taking a tree or a bush or just a patch of land to expand the highway, they may call on an appraiser's services.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that term either.
Yeah, so definitely look at that when you're driving down the street or you're getting ready to purchase a property. There's some things that could be out of your control if the state decides to do something on that particular street. So you say that you do commercial properties too, just a few. What are some of those commercial properties that you've seen?
Mostly it's a big building, so it's a building that's either going to get built or those type of leases. I don't know if you've heard of them. You lease the ground for like 99 years to a company.
That's big in Hawaii and other places. Yeah, so
Hawaii's
tell us a little bit
market.
about that.
But yeah, so it's mostly about what the plan is, what the property is going to be. So sometimes it's just the land, and then the business is going to come in and build that building in there. That the appraiser will need to have all the plans and specs of everything that's going to be built before it's built. And yeah, they would need to know what the property is going to be used for, so that they can actually appraise it for what it's supposed to be used for before it's even there. So.
What's so interesting about what you do, especially two women sitting here talking about real estate, construction, value of properties, a long time ago, that wasn't a big thing. I mean, women, we've been in the industry to sell real estate, but we weren't behind the scenes on financing. And so to see someone that is actually working with appraisers, working with understanding values is very important. Now, you have a beautiful name. You said it's Italian, right?
That's correct, yes.
So can you give it to the audience one more time?
In Italian, the last name would be Mussolino.
Ooh.
That's how my father would say it.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
And you're from where?
I'm from Venezuela, South America.
Oh, okay, cool.
My dad is full Italian. Came after the war to Venezuela, and they had us there, and that's where I grew up my entire childhood until about 18, and I came to the United States, and I've been here since.
So tell us a little bit about the differences between owning real estate or buying real estate in the U.S. versus Venezuela. Is it possible?
I would say there's probably a lot of differences. Let me tell you one that I like about Venezuela real estate. You do not pay annual taxes on your property. You buy it once, you own it, you do not have to pay annual taxes.
Wow.
Like here, and I think that's a movement that's trying to initiate in the United States. I've at least heard of it, and I like it, to also bring that here. You've already paid for your property. You shouldn't, I believe, have to pay taxes on it every year. Another big difference, I don't know if you know about the prices, kind of, that is huge. You could have, just to give an example, an apartment in the city that I grew up in, which is the second largest city in Venezuela. You could buy an apartment right now, full apartment, ready for you to move in for about $30,000.
Wow.
Full apartment, completely yours, no payments, no bank, no loan. So that's huge different from here. That would be a down payment here.
That would be a down payment here. Absolutely.
You could invest in a whole property down there right now. You could.
Oh, wow.
You could.
Absolutely. So, okay, so that's a big thing too. I mean, they're trying to do some interesting things here in the United States where they're trying to limit people from foreign soil to be able to buy
That's
property
true.
here. They're talking about that right now. Can a person from another country go to Venezuela and buy property now?
Right now, I know that you can, because I know that I would be able to at least help you with that. But that is a very good point. I am not sure, and I do not believe there are any laws right now in Venezuela that would prevent from a big acquisition internationally, which is it's a good point that the United States is trying to protect itself from that. I don't think Venezuela has any laws against it.
Oh, wow.
So technically,
Venezuela has been in the news a lot here lately. Oh my God. It has. As a person that's from there and you grew up there, what do you take away from that? Not getting political or anything, but just how does it feel to you to wake up in the morning and all of this is on the news? I mean, social media is everywhere. How did it feel to you?
well, we've been going through a lot of things in Venezuela for a while. What it feels like right now, it's the way that I like to describe it, is it's a cautiously optimistic feeling. There's a feeling in the air from at least me personally and the people around me that are from there of hope.
Oh, good.
Optimistic. We're seeing it as a good thing for the future. We have a lot of obviously hope for it. Now, we have been going through this for a while, and there have been stages in which we have had a lot of hope before, and it has
didn't turn out.
So we're
I hate
there.
that.
Yep. This one feels different. It feels good. It feels like progress. It feels like we have a great country to offer. So it feels great that it's back to being open. And so it feels good. Hopefully.
So right now, I know there's a lot of turmoil going on and everybody's trying to find their place and their voice. For us, explain to us about women. What's the biggest thing that the takeaway of your freedom in Venezuela versus here in the United States?
Well, my personal take.
Because you left at what age?
18.
18. So at 18,
university.
you were like, hey, there's so many things I want to be able to do. So 18 being there, 18 being here, tell us your take.
Personally, and I don't know how popular this opinion may be, I do not feel like there's much of a difference on the women's side if we're talking about freedom or opportunity. I personally did not feel a difference between countries.
Oh, good.
Yes, I did not feel, not as much on the women's side as I could tell you I felt on the sexual orientation side.
Okay.
I personally do feel like that was something that here in the United States was a bit more open. It was looked at a bit differently than in South America. But I wouldn't be able to tell you much about like difference between
Either way.
Yeah, the women part. Like I felt very much the same. Also, I did come here at 18, so I may not have experienced that trying to get into the workplace, in the workforce in Venezuela. I may have not experienced that part.
Cool. When you got here, did you know what you wanted to do, or did it just kind of get put together? America's really kind of interesting in that, where growing up here, we kind of push people into different directions. How did it feel coming here?
I did not know what I wanted to do other than I knew I wanted to finish college, which is what I did. And I picked business administration specifically to have a field that I felt like was open to do what I wanted to when I figured it out.
Cool.
And I feel like that's how it happened.
How did you land in Oklahoma, though? I mean, out of all of the states, what made Oklahoma? I mean, I'm not knocking Oklahoma. I love it here. But what made from, an Italian father?
It's a funny question because, so I came to the university to Iowa. And then I was in the university, and then I literally Googled the cheapest university in the United States. And I arrived to East Central University in Ada, Oklahoma.
Really?
Really. I just went with economics. What's the most affordable for an international student? Which I don't think is the same. Sometimes if you're from the state, your rates are different. And then I landed in Oklahoma. I graduated from East Central University. It treated me really well. Oklahoma has been great for me. After I graduated, I traveled. I went to Oregon. I lived in Florida. Went back to Venezuela. when I had to come back from Venezuela, with a remote job, I went again with which would be the most affordable place to live.
Okay, so we don't know. She's going to Google something. It's what's affordable first.
In Oklahoma, it's it, man. And I came back.
I love it.
I do like it. I like it here. What's funny though is my mom came here from Venezuela directly to Oklahoma. And then everybody around her is like, why Oklahoma? But yeah, it's just because I'm here.
Well, today is a very, very special day too. And so we're really grateful for you to be here with us because it is your day. It is your birthday. If you had to decide, and I know that you're going back to Venezuela really, really soon. What is the one message that you want to bring back to your friends, family that you grew up with when you go back? Because I mean, right now it's, I'm not going to say it's volatile, but I'm going to say it is definitely not probably stable. So don't you think that your friends and family are going to be like wanting to know something? I mean, they're going to want to hear what it's like from this side of the table.
I guess they already know a lot. It's a lot of information out there. We still talk a lot. But yeah, right now, I think the idea in Venezuela is let's build it back. I think that's how we're feeling.
I love that.
Yes, I think that's how we're...
Let's build it back.
Build it back.
Wow. That is powerful. Let's build it back. The clawback conversation is all about that. It's always talking about how do you claw your way back from anything that happens in your life, like something that's unique and devastating, or something that may even be positive. I mean, people win the lottery, and that's a huge change. People have children, and the children grow, and they have that empty nest syndrome, which is supposed to be great, but then they feel like some type of issue of loss and loneliness. And so when I think of your country as a whole, I really kind of feel like they're experiencing something together, if that makes sense.
True. Yes, that is actually an important part of it. We do feel like we are closer together in this.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so grateful for you to share that type of energy. Let's get back to what you do for a living. And if you were to tell someone about their opportunities in real estate or their opportunities in the industry, because I've heard for ages that appraisers are dying out. There's not that many of them. It's not a sexy career.
It's actually hard to get into. I think it was the requirements to get into were thought about it in a place that we don't live anymore. Like it started in a situation that we don't live anymore. Like the appraisers have to go through a lot of education after they do college. They have to have college degree. They have to do at least 2 years of training. And yeah, there's not a lot of people trying to do all of that for what it actually translates to. Because now it's my industry, which is the appraisal management company. It's just in the middle now. So it's a lot of middlemen now, and the appraisers at the very end. And they get, everything trickles down. So yeah, like you said, it's not necessarily luxurious. It's not something that, so it's the amount of work to get into, I think has taken the idea of becoming an appraiser out of it. A lot of appraisers are older.
Much older, like in their 60s.
A lot of the newer ones are just their kids. So those are like the only newer ones. It's not like a random new person. It's like, no, my mom did it, so I'm like just taking over the business. And we're like, thank you, we need you.
Right, exactly.
When your mom leaves, I don't know who's going to do this.
Which is so crazy because like I tell people my story. When I was a little girl, I wanted a Barbie dream house. It was 3 stories. It had an elevator.
Oh, that's cool.
And I got one for Christmas, but I expected it to be put together. Like Christmas morning, I just got the box, right? And so it was all in there and all these pre-cut pieces. And so we opened the whole thing up and I was excited. He gave me the instructions and said, here's your plans and specs, put it together.
I like it.
And so for me, that was something huge. And I feel like it started my real estate career, not just selling properties, but understanding construction in a form where a child can understand it. You're absolutely right. We need more appraisers. As I stated before, It is a very powerful position because they appraise not only for properties that's being sold, but they also appraise for the state and the federal government, and they also appraise for insurance companies, and they appraise for so many other different things. One of the appraisals that I did that was really interesting, I got a chance to appraise a shoe collection for a basketball star.
Oh, cool. That must have been a cool shoe collection.
Oh my God. He has so many freaking pairs of tennis shoes, and everything had a meaning. Some of them were signed. It was just really, really an interesting opportunity. But, and there's a but there. An appraisal is based off of the value of what a potential person would pay for it.
Correct.
Comparable sales. The comparable sales analysis, look it up. And so sometimes people hold their properties to their heart.
Oh, very.
So I want to ask you about that.
Oh, that one's big.
So when the appraisal comes in and it's not necessarily the value that was there, who blows a gasket? What happens?
So usually it's a borrower who's refinancing a home. Because if you're purchasing it, you're not that attached to it.
Right.
Anyways, you're selling it, maybe you're not that attached to it. But you're refinancing your own home, that's your home. The main part that we get is when you put money into your house. You say, I put $50,000 into my house. It's worth $50,000 more. No.
It's not.
It is absolutely not.
That swimming pool is never worth what you paid for it. I'm sorry.
Never. There's actually renovations that will translate into value. There's some that will not. So that one is an important one. It's definitely, if you put money into your house, it will not dollar by dollar, translate into value. So that one is a big one that a borrower will just flip because they don't understand how appraisals are done, which makes sense. You don't have to. But then they feel like, I bought the house for $200. I put $100. No, it's $300. It's simple math.
It's simple math. And it's not.
It's not. Something I like that my boss used to say was the appraisal is an art. It's not a science.
It's not at all.
Not a science.
And you can get different values from different people as long as it's in the same range. Let's talk about neighborhoods.
Okay.
Because communities and neighborhoods are defined based off of how you live, but not when you're talking about value.
What do you mean?
You have to, in every appraisal, they have to figure out what the neighborhood is.
True, right.
And
describe it, yep.
And they bring sales from that neighborhood.
Right.
And if you go outside of that neighborhood, you got to really document why.
And adjust.
Yep. Exactly. So when you're looking at neighborhoods as someone that works at an appraisal management firm, what if you disagree? Or what if you're a person that's refinancing disagrees and they say, that's not my neighborhood?
Oh, with the neighborhood, okay. They have to put boundaries on that neighborhood. And I don't think, that's a good question. I don't know if that's zoned specifically by neighborhood or if the appraisal will say, these are the characteristics of this properties and that's why I'm putting it as a neighborhood. But I do know they have to specifically put the boundaries that they say this is a neighborhood. As in like from this house to this house to this street right here. So yeah, I think the appraiser would have to determine that by the characteristics of the houses and what they would assume this is what puts that neighborhood in.
I love that. Okay, cool. We've covered so much. I appreciate you talking to us about the quirky things about setting value and then also about the interesting things. I had no idea that, I'm going to circle back around because you were talking about you have had a property where there's a grower, there's cannabis growing. Is there a form? And this may sound like a joke, but it's not a joke. Is there a form that you have to fill out once that happens for the bank?
No, I think the appraiser would be the one to identify there's an issue. They can only identify an issue if it's either the guidelines for the appraisal, which say nothing about marijuana or any type of other growing plants,
right?
Or the local guides, and that's the only thing I think you have to guide yourself by. So if the local guides, like I lived in Oregon, and I knew that when I lived there, you could grow up to 4 plants or something, and so I know that if the local guides allows you to, the bank should not would not be the one to say no for some reason.
Right. Okay.
If the city allows it, you allow it. As long as you are aware that your city does allow you to grow it there, you're good.
You're good.
The appraiser can say something, but you have proof my city allows it. The appraiser is not something that they're creating their own laws or anything like that. They're following and reporting the laws of the appraisal that say nothing about that, and the laws of the city that will say something about that, and you will have to follow that.
So if it's legal, it may not be a problem. Meth is never legal, so just don't grow.
Yeah, that one. Not even once, never.
Or psilocybin. That's another thing that's in houses now too, because the spores.
Yeah, I don't know much about those.
Yeah, the spores are really, really crazy. You can't get rid of them. So those are some of the things, just in doing my research, that can make a property lose value. So just FYI, just so you know, I wouldn't do that if I were you. So anyway, this has been so interesting. Yes. It's really, really cool. It really, really is. So the person on the other side of the phone may be the person that helps you really get your property sold, and hopefully you get the value that you deserve based off of hiring the right particular company to find the appraiser that understands the property.
That is true.
That's how it works. So once again, I'm Thunder Walker with the Thunder Walker Experience and the Clawback Conversation, and we have really enjoyed you.
Thank you.
And just tell them a little bit, one last thing about yourself. If you had anything else that you wanted to do besides what you currently do, what would it be?
I really like the idea of building a community for the remote workplace.
I like that.
Yes, it's like a college dorm for remote worker kids. I call myself a kid.
I like that. I like that so much. That is so cool. That's it. Thank you.